Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. The Senate is bubbling over the issue of water bill. If you could recollect, several reporters and some other networks, some other news media, including ours, had carried information and warned Nigerians that there's a water bill that is underway that is about to be passed, a bill that is about to be passed, where all the lands, all the waterways, all the waterways will belong to the federal government. The power will be taken away from the government, state government, to the federal government, which means, and by default, an indirect RUGA will be taking place where the federal government can decide who and what to give, who resides and who owns the waterways, even though it's actually ancestral water or ancestral land, as the case may be. Well, as we speak, the Senate is agog. They are already torn between each other. Some said, "No way, we are going to stand against this." But some others said it is already a done deal, because now those who are against the waterway bill are saying there must be a public hearing. Those who are for are saying no way, there can't be a public hearing because there was a public hearing in the Senate. So we do not need any public hearing. We'll do it within the House. Now, this is where we are right now. But before we go into the newspaper for the analysis, would you like it, subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. All right, let's go straight into the news of the day. There was confusion on Tuesday over the water resources bill as two leaders of the House of Representatives sharply disagree over public hearings on it. The majority leader of the House of Representatives, Peter Akpatason, in an interview said public hearing would be held on the controversial bill, which was abandoned by the 8th National Assembly. The chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business, Abubakar Futala, who reintroduced the bill on July 23, 2020, said there will be no more public hearing on it. He said a public hearing on the bill was held in the 8th National Assembly, adding that there was no need for another in this current 9th Assembly, so they should pass it. That's what he's trying to say. But some National Assembly members from the Middle Belt and southern parts of the country vowed to resist any attempt to pass that bill. Okay. The executive had in 2017 presented the controversial bill to both chambers of the National Assembly. The bill seeks to transfer the control of water resources from the states to the federal government. The Senate, on May 24, 2018, considered the executive bill for second hearing, during which senators were divided across regional lines. Correct. While northern senators supported the proposal, they will support it and its objectives. The southern counterparts opposed it in all totality. Bam. The controversy the bill generated frustrated its passage by both the Senate and the House of Representatives. The proposed law is titled "A Bill for an Act to Establish a Regulatory Framework for the Water Resources Sector in Nigeria, Provide for the Equitable and Sustainable Redevelopment, Management, Use and Conservation of Waters, Nigerian Surface Water and Underground Water Resources for Related Matters." That's the topic. When passed, it will concentrate the control of water resources around rivers like River Niger and Benue, as well as other waterways which cut across 20 states in the hands of the federal government. The affected states are Lagos State, Ondo State, Ogun State, Edo State, Delta State, Kwara State, Kogi State, Benue State, Anambra State, Enugu State, Akwa Ibom State, Adamawa State, Taraba State, Nasarawa State, Niger State, Imo State, Rivers State, Bayelsa State, Plateau State, and Kebbi State. Well, the Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka and organizations such as Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum, Johannes Ndibo, and the Middle Belt Forum had last week warned the federal government and the National Assembly against bringing back the bill. Speaking to one of our correspondents, the lawmaker representing Okpobonkoro constituency of Rivers State in the House, Awoji Mbeke Abiante, said he was surprised when the bill was brought back to the floor of the House, Abete said, I was in the chamber one morning and I saw someone, that's Fulata, move a motion bringing something that's the bill back. I can't find it in any gazette. If there is, they should let me know because nobody knows it at all. The attempt was made, they said second reading and the committee of the whole. It is not even procedural as far as I know in this National Assembly. It's against the procedure. Okay. Oh. When told that the President Major General Muhammad Buhari retired sent the bill to the last assembly but it failed to pass and that such bills could be revisited by the current assembly, the lawmaker argued that the process through which the legislature was reintroduced was flawed. He stated bills that were not passed, you cannot bring them back in that manner in which they have attempted to bring this back. It cannot come back that way. It is only bills that have been passed, which which have become an act of parliament and which are not assented to by the president that can come back in this manner through a motion. That bill as it was killed in the eighth assembly can never come back this way. So we should be able to respect our own rules at least. Let us know exactly what we are doing so that we can stand and defend the institution wherever we are. The lawmaker warned that the proposed law would adversely affect Lagos State and states along the river Niger and Benue and their tributaries, including all other states. This is strange. Abete said there are some states that will not exist. Lagos will not exist. If you say 3 kilometers from the water, there will be no Lagos state for Lagos people. If you take 3 kilometers away from River Niger in Anambra, Kogi, Benue, what will be left? It's just like telling us that the one man wants is to sit in Abuja and be controlling the entire country and every resource, both ground and surface waters. That's very serious. Also, the lawmaker representing Jos Southeast Federal Constituency of Plateau State, Doche Bagos, said his constituency has rejected the bill. Bagos said, how can the House foist it on Nigerians? Our constituency are talking about it and they have asked us to reject it. It is something that will be discussed. If you make a law that Nigerians don't like, what is the essence? Similarly, the lawmaker representing Ede North, South Egbedoro Ejegbo Federal Constituency of Osun State, Bamidele Salam, stated that any law Nigerians don't support will not pass. Salam said whenever piece of legislation that would further take us into unitary system of government is condemnable rather, any law that we make to do today must be such that we engender the spirit and letters of federalism as seen everywhere in the world. Now, this is serious. Now, the issue of it will be subject to public hearing. Deputy House Leader said, Majority Leader Peter Akpatason said that the bill will be subject to public hearing. Both the majority leader and the deputy majority leader supervise and solicit support for presidential bills in the Senate and the House. He said any aspect of it that is found not to be in line with the expectation of Nigerians will be altered. That is why it is called a bill, and that is why public hearings are conducted. During public hearing, Nigerians are given the opportunity to come and make their input, and this input at the end of the day are factored into our final work. So much said, but Nigerians are not listening. All they want is let it be done the proper way. In fact, Nigerians are saying we don't even do anything, just reject it. This one here, he now continued. He said public hearing was held in 8th Assembly. We won't hold another. That's the chairman of the House Committee on Rules, that's Fulata. But Fulata said the public hearing was held in the 8th Assembly when civil rights group made their contribution. When asked if the public hearing would be held, Fulata said no. The bill was considered to be 8th Assembly and there was a public hearing by the 8th Assembly. All the stakeholders were invited. All objections by the public, civil society organization and stakeholders were taken into consideration. The bill was passed at the third reading after taking the views of the stakeholders. But for whatever reason, the Senate of that 8th Assembly, which was then held a running battle with the president, refused to pass the bill. By our rule, if we have committed the same bill again, we don't need another public hearing. We circulated a clean copy to all members. We gave notices. Then why did the clause by clause consideration? So if there were objections, it was expected that those objections would have been raised at the point of clause by clause consideration, but there was none. Look, whatever they are doing, they should just remember that Nigerians don't want this bill. Why should our waterways be given to the federal government? It has always been in the hands of the state government. What changed? Whatever they are all saying, in summary, Nigerians are saying no to that bill. Let it die at let it not resurrect ever again. They should trash it. Nigerians will change their mind anytime soon. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in the comment section. What's your take on this battle that is already ongoing in the Senate? Let's interact. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more updates on this.